Hi, my name is Nikki. I work here at Gazelle Sports, and I'm going to give you some information about insoles, why you would want them, and what types to get. I'll start with the Superfeet brand first. This is all of the Superfeet. The main difference with Superfeet is they're all a full-length insole. You can get 3/4, but for most athletic shoes or even some just regular everyday shoes, the full length is actually going to be probably your best fit. Superfeet really focuses on the heel cup. They have a pretty deep heel that'll actually hold it in place, and the arch of it actually isn't a full arch to fill in the whole gap of it. What they really want to focus on is the back of the arch, where the calcaneus bone is. And what that does is when you have the calcaneus bone supported, it's almost like the bridge to an arch. It's like the keystone, so it's at the very top. And once that's supported, it's actually not going to let that flexion happen. So why you wouldn't want flexion is because that's what's actually going to increase inflammation in your foot, and that's what's actually going to make your foot more tired. So even if you're not having any symptoms or anything, having your arch supported is actually going to help your foot with, just exhaustion while you're running, while you're standing, just inflammation in general. And two, I mean, it can actually help your arch from falling in advance. And that's why with the fit of a Superfeet insole, you kind of want to feel it a little bit further back. Now another type of brand that we have is the Powerstep brand. This brand is a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily focus on the calcaneus bone towards the back. Its focus is more like having a higher arch and filling in the whole gap of the arch. For some people who have a really high arch, this is a better product for them. They feel it a little bit more, and there is even a higher version. There's two versions. There's the Pinnacle and the original. The Pinnacle is the highest. So really, for people who don't necessarily need that calcaneus bone support, they almost want, a lot of physicians will actually have patients come in and have a Powerstep insole as their insert, because it helps relieve the symptoms of plantar fasciitis. And that's just because it fills in that whole gap. So sometimes having a Powerstep insole would be good for relieving symptoms. Superfeet is sometimes good to prevent symptoms, but it depends on the person's foot and the shape of it as well. So that's why usually when somebody comes in for insoles, we usually try all of them out to see what fits best on a person's foot. As I was telling you earlier, we have the 3/4 length. Some of these can be used for dress shoes, for men or for women. Usually ladies will use this, especially if they have a dressier shoe that's a little bit more narrow. You can even get, some of these can actually fit in high heels, not like the stiletto type of a heel, but if you have a kitten heel or something, it'll actually fit in there. And if you like this type of style better, some people will even take out the sock liner of a shoe and they'll put this one in its place and then cut the end of the sock liner out so that it's still soft on the end. So that's another option. This one here from Superfeet is actually the yellow one here. It's more of like an athletic type of one. Not that these aren't for athletic shoes, but this is almost going to fit in something a little bit more narrow, like a soccer boot or a hockey skate. I've even had some people put them in wrestling shoes. So I mean, it just kind of, however you want to use it. And plus it does have a little bit of extra venting there. The Superfeet ones actually can be all trimmed down to fit different sizes of shoes and different shapes, and we grind them down to make them flush to the end of the shoe. The Superfeet or the Powerstep actually as is. They have many different sizes and stuff, and it would just fit into your shoe. You wouldn't need to trim it down or anything. So yeah, so that's pretty much, the different types of insoles that we have, and why you would want them is, like I said, mainly having, getting rid of some of that foot exhaustion, whether it be because you have too much flexion in your arch, causing inflammation, or, causing almost sometimes symptoms of plantar fasciitis, or sometimes even just for preventative health. If you don't want to have any of these symptoms happening, I mean, it's good to support it. So yeah. But yeah, so come on in and see if you'd like us to fit you for some insoles, and we'll see what we can do for you.